and then you got them. Okay. Good. So when it starts, focus on them. There you go. Thank you.
My girl. Randy just looks at me like. Let me go close
What? We can convince the defendants.
I have my defendants.
Yes.
Yes.
I didn't say that she wasn't here.
My defendants.
I said the defendant.
My defendants.
Okay, that's fine.
You have yours. You okay? Yes. Choke on breakfast? Yes. Good morning. Thank you for coming to jury duty. You have all been summoned today to help prove our defendant, Metrocon, innocent. There's going to be a couple of times we're going to need audience participation to help us choose the right evidence. And don't worry about like everyone getting to a consensus for like guilty or not guilty, because we're going to have our jury speaker Kyle help us gather everyone's consensus, and he will be the one to give us the consensus.
So he'll start talking a lot. He will be able to hear every thing and everyone's general opinion.
Yep. So, good luck, everyone.
All right. Court is now in session for the trial of Megan Khan.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
Prosecution is more than ready, Your Honor.
Very well. You may proceed with your case, Mr. Edgeworth.
The victim was Metrocon, a renowned mermaid performer and ocean conservation enthusiast. He was attending AquaCon as a performance guest. However, he never got the chance to perform his routine, as he was found dead in a shark-filled aquarium tank.
How ironic. He was killed by the very thing he sought to preserve. I get the feeling that we've had a similar trial to this one before.
Your Honor,
That one's a whale of a tail.
this is no time to reminisce, you two. We've got a case in front of us.
That was a terrible joke, Nick. But are you talking about a trial? Because I might have been out of town for that one.
What are you, right? A mouth breather? I'd very much like to finish my opening statement now.
Mouth breather, come on, Edgeworth. I don't need to tell you that sharks have gills.
Lawyer, you taint this room with your foul tongue. Stay it yourself, or you shall find my beads around your neck instead of my own.
Mr. Satamati, there will be no bead throwing in this court. Please continue, Mr. Edgeworth.
How utterly ridiculous. At any rate, the prosecution asserts that the defendant, Metrocon, forced the victim into the shark tank on the previous night. It's presumed that in the victim's struggle to exit the tank, he attracted the shark's attention and suffered multiple bites, resulting in death.
You're presuming whatever happened to sticking to evidence, Edgeworth.
Let me be clear that the defense is guilty of more than just murder. There will be no presumptions once we've heard her testimony.
But wait, we have evidence to prove that Megan is innocent, right, Nick?
Well, yeah, sort of.
What do you mean, sort of?
I think Apollo has it, but he's running late, I guess.
Typical of that Write Anything agency. While the defense flops like a fish out of water, let's get the first witness's testimony out of the way. And for the beginning of the end, our leading witness will finish this case quickly. I'd like to return to the real world as soon as possible.
Would Miss Holly Day please come to the stand?
Please state your name and occupation for the court.
My name is Holly D. Day. My occupation is freelancing Christmas ornaments, being so in love with my dear Matthew. My hobbies include modeling, painting, sculpting, kissing Matthew, painting again, modeling.
Please, Miss Day, spare us the details.
Jeez, do you think old bag is her grandma or something?
You're probably. Miss Day, could you please give the court a detailed description of the day before the murder? Weren't you and Matt Surry supposed to meet with the defendant and the victim that morning?
It was dawn. Matthew had received a text message to meet in the convention hall for a special surprise. Eager, we dressed, broke fast, and bounded to meet Destiny.
Destiny? I thought you were meeting the victim. Who is Destiny, and why is she here now?
Don't worry, Your Honor. I'm sure she's gonna show up soon.
Well, good. Then continue with your testimony.
Finally, Matthew and I met Matt at 8:30 to begin the tour of the facilities. He showed us around everything. The pools, the exhibits, the microphones, the ladders.
Hold it! You said you only met Matt there? Thought all four of you were meeting at the same time.
No, I believe I just said it was Matt. Why do you ask?
That's definitely not what we have here. Megan Kahn, the accused, wasn't there?
Oh, Matthew loves MegaCon. His favorite year was 2012. There was so much fun for him to buy and sell. It was really very
Exciting, Shirley.
So you're telling me you never saw the accused there?
Gesundheit. Make sure to cover your mouth in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah, Nick, get a tissue next time.
Let me start over. You and Matthew were supposed to meet Matt and Megan for a tour of the convention, right?
Mm-hmm, sure did.
And you know Megan Kahn, the accused, right?
Of course! We were sorority sisters together. Kappa Kappa Tau for life.
I see. Please continue.
So, after Matt left us, Matthew and I took such a romantic stroll through the vendors hall when they opened. Had some amazing sushi for lunch. And then saw Matt's performance before heading back to our hotel room for some drinks, some din-din, and a little extra fun too.
So, since you were preoccupied, you didn't see Oh, that's it. You didn't leave your hotel.
No.
Nor did you see her.
Had no reason to.
Ew.
But, dun dun dun, from the balcony I saw her heading to the convention hall after hours.
That's not it.
Huh. You look like you've seen the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, right? Video surveillance does indeed capture Megan near the tags, near the expected time of the murder. Her fingerprints were also found on the expected means of entry.
That's definitely not in my evidence. Are they in your evidence? I don't think so. Did we not take this?
Further inspection of her belongings yielded a small pocket.
No way!
Pocket knife.
Pocket knife! That doesn't look like a pocket knife, Ezra.
Traces of blood were found on the edge of the blade. An exact match to one Mr. Metrocon. Though I must admit that there were no fingerprints found.
Well, it looks like Miss Holiday was very informative indeed.
Oh, no, Oh no, I disagree. until the fat lady sings.
I believe it's curtains for your cross-examination rights.
Did you just call me fat?
No, he didn't, but you do have a big fat mouth.
Order! Now, Mr. Wright, unless you have any more questions for the witness, I demand that you bring your cross-examination to an end.
Miss Day, can you say for certain that you saw my client at night, no less?
No, I can't. I just have a feeling. She's always been jealous of Matt. Poor girl even fell head over heels in love with him too, but he smashed her heart into pretty little pieces, so I would be too surprised if she killed him. After all, not everyone can find a love as long and lasting as ours.
I motion for my client to take the stand and speak on her actions at night.
Very well, I accept. The sooner she admits her guilt, the faster we can end the trial.
Would Miss Megan Kahn take the stand?
Well, please state your name and profession.
My name is Megan Kahn. I'm a mermaid performer at the Florida Aquarium.
Miss Kahn, is it true that you are performing partners with the victim? And is it also true that you were envious of his talent?
I wasn't jealous. We were partners. We have the same skill level.
And what were you doing the night of the murder?
On the night of the murder, I was in my hotel room reading over Matt and I's plans for our final performance.
I meant after that. Why were you in the convention center after it had closed for the night?
I wasn't. I never left my hotel room until the next day.
Then how would you explain this surveillance photo?
Whoa, Nick, Holly didn't lie. She really was in the convention center after hours.
This isn't good. Okay, I admit it.
Already?
I admit that I broke into the convention center, but it wasn't to kill Matt.
Then what were you doing?
I was practicing
Practicing?
for the performance. I don't get to use a pool that big anywhere else.
The mermaid tank is adjacent to the shark tank. How likely is it, really, that you did not commit or at least witness the murder?
I was practicing holding my breath.
Even then, wouldn't you be able to see it happen through the glass?
Objection!
So as all of you can see in the crime scene photo, there's a shark tank and a mermaid tank, and there's a wall between the two, but it looks like there's something drawn on it. So, would there be a way that Megan could have seen the murder happen? Could it be that the glass is transparent, the water was murky, or that the lights were off? Does anyone know? Raise your hand if you know.
Was it the glass isn't transparent?
Right. The glass wasn't transparent.
She couldn't possibly have witnessed the murder.
And why is that?
I have that picture.
Did you grab the right one?
I believe I waited.
Here it is.
Oh, this is why I need a paralegal. The glass separating the two tanks isn't transparent. It's blocked off by a mural on both sides.
Ah, but you've forgotten a crucial piece. What of the other person who followed Miss Khan into the convention center?
What are you talking about?
The prosecution would like to call Nayuta Sadmati to the stand.
Nayuta?
No.
What?
He also a prosecutor.
I feel like they're cheating. This is
Yeah.
cheating.
That happens.
Yeah.
They're cheating.
Well, please state your name and profession.
I really do think you should already know this, Edgeworth.
Name and profession, now.
My name is Nayuta Satmahi, and I am a prosecutor from Godot. Will that suffice, boss?
I'm missing a lot.
A lot.
Nayuta, what were you doing at the convention?
I do not see the relevance in that question.
You are starting to smell really fishy.
Right. It seems you've been around Aquacon too much. Why don't you pull your head out of water, wake up to the smell of reality, and say something relevant?
Smell? I don't smell anything other than my.
Hold it, Judge. I think.
Oh, well, okay, fine. Anyway, I agree. It does seem rather strange that an important witness would be for a prosecution is another prosecutor.
Mr. Edgeworth, please have the court return to my relevant testimony.
Perhaps you could tell them yourself, Prosecutor Surry.
Fine then. I was led to Aquacon by my interest in American convention culture. In particular, the promised underwater mermaid performance.
So, I'm curious. Did Aquacon help you improve your interactions with Americans, or are you still a stick in the mud?
Guilty lawyer, have I not given you a satisfactory answer? Why don't you take your associate there to get a burger or something else Americans indulge in?
This sucks, Nick. I really want a burger, but all the food here is so expensive.
I believe the important question has been answered. So let's move on to the next point, shall we?
Of course. Please continue with your testimony, Nayuta.
As I was saying, I saw Megan Kahn enter the convention center after hours. No more than a few minutes later, I saw Matthew Surry enter the convention center as well.
And what were you doing there?
I was people watching to further my understanding of this culture.
People watching, I really think that they're probably watching you with, the outfit. Anyway, okay. Check my notes here. How did you recognize one of them as Matt Surry?
I had seen him earlier with the victim, Matthew Trogan, the defendant, Megan Kahn, and the other witness, Miss Holly Day. He was also wearing a rather peculiar hat, which is...
What's so great about him?
That's needless. Let me rephrase. It is not something I find appropriate for the courtroom. However, he is wearing the hat on the stand still.
I enter the hat as evidence. Matt?
Well, then, if Nayuta recognizes Mr. Surry, that is all that matters.
Well, Mr. Wright.
My evidence. Did you see Mr. Surry leave the convention center?
Yes, he was there for no more than 30 minutes.
Okay. And did he happen to have anything else with him? Because I'm sure many jurors have this hat. There must have been something.
Oh, yes, he was carrying a rather large suitcase with him, there and back. On the return trip, it was less heavy.
Thank you, Nayuta, for your testimony. The prosecution would now like to call Matthew Surry to the stand.
Hold it. Can't we wait for Apollo with our definitive evidence?
Do you honestly believe Apollo has any relevant evidence to save your case?
Save her soul.
I have the evidence!
Oh my.
Okay.
was a fool. Phoenix, how
I'm
could
okay.
a foolish boy handle your evidence?
Okay. Wait. Okay. Good. That's good. Okay. Anyway.
Edgeworth, this is a trial. You might want to.
Origin on the boy.
Oh, that's fair.
Sorry for bursting in like this. I got caught up with something. Anyways, here we have surefire evidence that will prove that Megan Kahn is innocent of all accounts made against her.
That's not evidence, that's just a folder, boy.
That's not what I meant, Mr. Stiff. But okay.
Your Honor, he can't cross-examine if I haven't gotten a chance to question him yet.
Well, silence, Mr. Edgeworth, even though I was after there. I'm interested in what Apollo has to show. Please, you may cross-examine.
This is ridiculous. I'm stepping down, someone else can go against this child.
Why would anybody let Chicken Little up there? He just made a complete. Anyways, Lobster Boy.
Anyways, Braidhead.
Hey, enough with the name calling.
So tell me, Polly, why were you late?
That has absolutely nothing to do with the case.
But you know, Polly, I kind of want to know too.
When did this become a trial about me?
Frankly, we are wasting time. I have old man things to be doing. Proceed with the next testimony. Silence in the court!
Mr. Surry, you might want to approach the witness stand. Now, if you may, please state your name and profession.
Your witness
Your
is
name?
floundering.
My name is Matthew Surry, and I'm a professional collector.
What is your relationship to the defendant?
Relevant, Mr. Justice.
It might be important for all these people to know.
The judge will surely not allow such an obvious...
The court will permit this question.
She's my stepsister, and as mentioned earlier, was Holly's sorority sister.
Did you see her on the first day of the convention?
No.
Objection!
Since Apollo wasn't here earlier, he might not know if anyone had seen the witnesses together. Does anyone know if anyone saw them together? Was it nobody? Was it a CCTV photo? Or did Mayuta see them together? Anyone remember? From an earlier testimony, maybe?
The CCTV footage.
It was not.
It was Mayuta.
It was Nayuta.
I was told that Nayuta clearly stated he saw you with her.
Mr. Surry, please explain yourself.
I was only with her for half the day. Then Holly and I went off on our own for the night.
For the entire night?
Yes?
You're still lying, aren't you?
Sapora! Your Honor, the defense's boisterous voice disturbs the spirits. I request that you silence him at once before I send him to the spirits myself.
Objection sustained. Apollo, please stop bullying the witness. He looks like he's about to cry.
All right, fine. How were you able to get into the convention center after hours?
I was helping a friend move over some merchandise to the vendor's hall.
What kind of merch were you helping move?
It was a lot of shark memorabilia. Shark tooth necklaces, shark heads, shark statues.
Must have been pretty heavy, huh?
Gazing upon his fragile human form, it's surprising. Needless to say, lawyer, your questions are irrelevant.
Okay, okay. You two need to get back on track.
How long were you helping her move her stuff?
Maybe an hour or two?
Gotcha!
Oh no. Oh no. In Nayuta's earlier testimony, he said that he saw Matt Surry in the convention center for a very specific amount of time. So I remember if it was 3 hours, 30 minutes, or no time at all.
3 hours.
30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Was it 30 minutes? Yes.
This is why you're not me.
They expect a burger after this. I'm doing my best.
I was told that you were only there for 30 minutes. You've been lying this whole time.
What do you mean?
You play with your hair when you lie, don't you?
I fail to see how playing with hair denotes a lie.
Oh, yeah, you would.
I do not expect a child like you to understand the importance of personal upkeep. What's that American term? Diaper baby. I shall help you see by replacing your eyes with some holy beads.
I'm sorry, holy what?
Wait, how did you know I wear diapers?
How did you know that, sir?
I took Matt Trocan's body to the convention.
Hold it. Oh, God. I have crucial evidence that you have carelessly overlooked, trite. I'm sorry, Your Honor. I would have been here sooner, but a lot of people kept stopping me because they kept confusing me for someone named Cyclops. Here you go.
By what you've given me, are you proposing to me?
What you have there, Your Honor, is the engagement ring that was found at the embassy's poolside.
An engagement ring.
Indeed. And if you look on the inside, you'll find a date engraved.
Oh, well, that'll be October 12th, 2001. Matt and Holly.
The date sounds like placed years before Holly Day and Matt Surry started dating.
A date can have many meanings for many couples, trite. But someone as oblivious as you would not know the inner workings of a woman's heart.
I guess that's true.
Do you think maybe you could look at that date in a different way?
You're probably right.
No, the Turnabout.
Yeah. That's it. Your Honor, my evidence. Oh, it's my evidence. Where'd my evidence go? I brought it back. See?
Such a mysterious thing.
Write anything, agency. Right, drop everything, agency. I believe that with that ring, we have the real culprit behind this thing.
The real culprit?
Yeah, the real, for sure. That's pretty.
Okay.
Got anything to say? Godot?
I mean,
No?
with this ring, what are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything. What do you think I'm suggesting?
I mean,
That's probably a good idea. I retract my earlier statement. I motion for a recess.
Hold it!
Hey,
Only a
I just
rookie.
took it back.
Broccoli? Or rookie? Oh.
Yes, of course. A rookie would only demand recess while they're cowering like a dog between their legs.
Hey, I don't need a recess to talk to my client. I don't need
Sustained 10 minutes, Mr. Wright.
I need a recess.
While we recess, the jury may feel free to use the restroom, get a snack, take a nap.
What did you do, Apollo?
Oh, water down my pants. I'm okay. I spilled water down my pants.
Thankfully, if the judge can stay awake, we will take an actual 3-minute recess. So you guys can meander and talk amongst yourselves. Apollo can go dry off his pants. New problems arise every day at the Right Anything Agency. Okay, listen.
When I said that bathroom break, I wasn't kidding.
You need to go to the bathroom. You can follow Apollo. I'm sure he'll take you there. Go. Are you the new murderer?
Don't pee.
Or drink more. I don't have to.
So sorry.
My time is now. That's because she was a very troubled child. Oh, that's right. That transfer government.
Something you would expect. Horrifying.
Everything's
How dare you bring up my father?
Apollo, no!
I was a very smart child.
Apollo, no! I mean, maybe. Maybe. Like it's a... You want me to wet an old man first?
If you want a child that's not very smart, why don't you go find Mr. Bus? You don't really care.
Like today or Saturday?
Just keep out for a particular smell that you'll probably know where he is.
We're throwing beads now!
Not coffee.
We'll behave. We're going back to preschool.
The size of a
Now skip preschool.
Yeah.
Sure, bye. What?
Desecrated my only item. Oh, I see.
Judge is now engaged.
He's engaged. Disgusting.
Well, we're playing down. Look at that. That's failed.
I've just been asked a very important question.
Court is now back in session. Silence so we may resume their testimonies. Evidences, other courtly things. Other courtly I'll have you know. But I only stubbed my toe and cried for 20 minutes.
I mean, I just can't believe that.
Is the defense ready?
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
All right. Now that the recess is over, you may continue.
So, Holly's been cheating on Matt the whole time?
Wait, which Matt?
Was that loud enough for the back of the room to hear?
You've got a good point. So, Holly was cheating on Matt the whole time.
Wait, which Matt?
Both of them, I guess, but she doesn't look like the type of girl girl to do that.
I knew it all along.
Really?
She bragged about it to all of the girls in our sorority. She has an entire monopoly of men at her fingertips, wanting to give her money just for existing.
How did none of them know that she was cheating on them?
Oh no, everyone knew. Matt is only still with her because he's afraid of losing her.
That's very sad. But wait, which
That's sorry, my stepbrother.
your what?
Phoenix, even I knew that. Her father, Matt Surry's stepfather, is Jay Kahn.
Take on. What an honor. Wow. Serving royalty technically. Everyone must meet. But
Yes, he spoils Matt, and by association Holly. He's her most wealthy student. But Metrocon knew about it too. He told me that he was going to propose and ask her to leave everyone else because he could give her so much more, but she probably would have said no anyways.
Wait, Phoenix, that's it.
what's it?
We need to bring Matt Surry back on the stand. We have some questions for him.
All right, order in the court. Now that it's back in session, Mr. Wright, I believe you had further questions for one of the witnesses.
Yes, I do. I would like Matt Surry back on the stand.
Hold it. Don't you think this is unnecessary? Only unnecessary as cream in black coffee.
I like cream in my coffee. So
But we need to find out about what happened on the night of the murder and why he was carrying the deceased's body.
exactly. Matt. Okay. Mr. Surry.
Yes?
Did you happen to see Miss Day on the night of the murder?
Of course I did. We were sharing a hotel.
I know you can be oblivious, right? But you reach a new point of sheer blindness.
The truth is as clear as the coffee on your nose. He couldn't have possibly seen Miss Day.
And what are you implying?
Oh, what are we implying? Why did you grab the evidence?
For a boy who wears
I will fix you.
white, you're so
I'm lucky
green.
I'm your boss. I'm nice, unlike some bosses.
He got fired.
Darce the bell.
Didn't you say you had definitive evidence?
Yeah, we did have definitive.
I'm trying to find it. I dropped half of it.
Well, where did you see it last?
On the floor.
I had it in the folder when I came in.
Now it's on the floor.
I used to have, like, there was a note in here.
But where is it now?
There's a note?
A note.
What note?
I think Holly has it.
Where?
What?
Are you hiding something, Miss Day?
I'm not.
Do you mind,
What's that?
That's indeed Apollo.
Apollo,
How indecent!
why
Where did you find that note?
we already have a bad name, Apollo. I don't need to ruin it.
That evidence at this moment. Recently.
I know. Oh, I'm still getting audited. I'm not going to jail.
Mr. Justice, what is it about this note?
Well, according to the note, it proves that Miss Day left the hotel room that night. And it reads,
I don't want to.
I'll be back soon. Don't wait on me. Holly.
And why would she leave that note? Is it because she was planning on going somewhere or meeting up with someone?
Absurd.
You knew where she was going, didn't you, Mr. Surry?
Would he know from that note? Doesn't say-
He didn't know from the note.
What are you trying to say?
I am trying to say.
I can't keep doing this.
Here it comes.
I saw her from the balcony. She was with Matt by the pool. I saw him propose to her, and it broke me.
So that's why the ring was there.
I got angry because I've had enough of her cheating on me, okay? Maddie. No, Holly, I'm done pretending. I went down to the pool to confront them, but when I did, I saw it happen.
Well, what did you see?
Holly emerged from the water, but Matt didn't. She walked towards the exit, and I panicked and lost my courage. I hid behind the wall. When she walked past me, I went to see why Matt hadn't come up yet. He was handcuffed to the grate to the bottom of the pool. He wasn't struggling.
Mr. Wright?
I'm trying to figure
I'm
it out.
trying to move the evidence.
It's not the evidence.
So, I'm sorry, repeat that one more time. Apollo is distracting me.
I think he said he wasn't sure.
Well, there's something about handcuffs.
I want
Very unseemly.
That
So, after reading all this evidence, what happened next, Mr. Surry?
I jumped in to save him. I couldn't pull the grate off the bottom of the pool, so I had to figure out another way to get the handcuffs off of him. There was a bobby pin on the pool deck, so I used that to pick the lock.
You picked the lock?
I collect a lot of things, skills included. It wasn't hard to figure out how the mechanism worked. Anyway, I pulled him out of the pool and I tried to resuscitate him. When he didn't cough up water, I knew it was over. But I had to protect Holly.
To be so jaded to murder. Holly must truly make your day.
But how did you... I love her. I had to act fast. There was a laundry cart with towels by the pool, so I put his body in it.
So, you lifted him. He was a kind of beefy dude, right? And you're not.
I don't know. It's like the instinct that kicks in that lets a mother lift a car to save her child. I had to protect Holly.
What did you do to get the body into the suitcase?
I basically broke it. I had to contort him to fit him in the suitcase. Ow.
My knees are hurting again.
Then you wheeled the suitcase to the convention center.
That wasn't my plan. I was going to put it in a dumpster. But I saw someone on the way to the dumpster. I didn't know it was Meg. Meg, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Then?
And I followed them into the convention center. I waited for that person to leave my line of sight, and I wheeled the suitcase to the shark tank. I thought the sharks would destroy the body and make him unidentifiable, so I slit his wrist to get the party started and pushed him into the tank.
Oh my god.
I realized then that someone's bag was near the tank next to the shark tank, and I panicked, thinking they would catch me, so I threw my knife into their bag and ran out of the convention center with the suitcase.
Order! Order in the court! I demand Holly take the stand immediately.
Communicating!
So it's come to this.
Poor guy.
To be so entangled in what lines just for love.
Can't believe she'd do something like this.
Evidence does not change facts.
Holly, you killed Metrocon, didn't you?
My good jurors, surely you don't believe such a story. That mean old lawyer bullied my widow Matthew, didn't he? Matthew loves me. He'd never make up a story like that. Matthew and I are meant to be forever. We were supposed to get married and live together forever. He was supposed to take care of me forever and ever and ever.
Hold it! Take care of you? You mean mooching off of that money, right?
Matthew was supposed to love me.
You only love him for his money. Why would he love you?
Because everybody loves me.
Gotcha! If by everyone you mean all of your suitors?
It's not my fault that they're dumb enough to fall for one of the oldest tricks in the book. If Matt had just stayed in his place, he wouldn't be here.
Which Matt?
I can only assume.
It's the Matthew, it's the lost soul over there.
No. No. She's only talking about one. That ring wasn't from Matt Surry. It was from Metrocon, wasn't it?
So it was never meant to be Holly Day and Matt Surry.
Because if it was, she'd be wearing it right now.
So, from what we've gathered, Holly Day had left a note for Matt Surry telling him that she was leaving the hotel room for a while. Why she left a note instead of verbally telling him is beyond me, but
That's out.
could be. Yes, is key.
Why do I pay you?
Poor child. We'll have a father.
This is why you don't pay your employees.
You pay your employees with profit.
Yes.
I pay mine with burgers. But,
I'm gonna go over there.
What?
Hey, you'd rather have ramen than burgers?
I want the testimony to continue.
You're right. So then, when Matt Surry saw the note, which obviously she wrote to incriminate herself and us, he went to the balcony to overlook the pool. Right? That's where he saw Holly and Matt. Infuriated and jealous, he went down to the pool.
But in the meantime, while he was on the way, Mr. Trokin had proposed to Holly, asking her to leave everyone and be with him and him alone. He panicked. She panicked. Real woman. I know that. She panicked and lied to lure him into the water, leaving the ring behind.
She handcuffed him to the bottom of the pool and swam out to leave him for dead. She walked past Mr. Surry, panicked as well, pulled Mr. Trokin's body out of the pool, and pinned the murder on Megan to save his beloved.
Well, I think I've heard quite enough.
Jurors, it's time to decide who you think did it. Was it Megan? Or was it Holly? Holly. Oh, all right. Jury speaker, what's the evidence?
The overwhelming consensus of our peers gathered today is that Holly is the guilty one.
I can't believe this.
I think it's.
Well, what conclusion has the jury come to?
It's Holly.
She's
They said Holly.
I am a very dumb judge, if you couldn't tell.
He just needs to boost his hearing aid.
Anything to say, Miss Day?
And the defense rests, Your Honor.
Does the prosecution have any final comments?
Not a single one, Your Honor.
Then I shall hand down the verdict. Would the defendant please take the stand? Yeet. Oh, I just hear the kids saying it all the time now. That means please leave. Well, I find the defendant, Megan Khan, not guilty. Yay! Busting off step.
All right.
And now, if you would like to stay, we shall reconvene for you to question and any answers for the lawyers and Please do give us a little 5-minute recess if you'd like to stay.
Get that so I can pay you. I'm trying to be mean, like, can we get